Good evening. Welcome to News Night here on Metro Television. My name is Bridget Otu. It's a new week and it's good to have you join us live from our studios here in the capital, Accra. The headlines tonight.
The security is not porous. It is not porous considering the number that we have. Forestry Commission is a government organization and we don't have the power to employ. So we are just making use of the little staff that we have to do all this work.
The Commission asks for more officers to police the Achimota Forest and Accra Zoo effectively as police investigate circumstances leading to the death of a man killed by one of caged lions. Also, our Europa FM back on air after management apologized for allowing UPP leader Odike to use its platform for comments deemed unsavory. And Dr. Kwabena Dufour's team hits back at the NDC for suggesting it's deceived the party with the Ahoto project. Bankers Association allays fears of customers as ratings agency Fitch downgrades 3 Ghanaian banks. Violence continues in Iraq as a curfew is imposed to stop Saddam's attack supporters on rampage following his quitting of politics. We have details of these stories and more in the next 60 minutes. Thank you. Hello again, and remember we're streaming on Twitter at Metro TVGH. If you're on Facebook, it's at Newsnight and at Metro TV Ghana. And I'm sure you've seen a video of a man who said he bought a petrol and it was mixed with water and it's gone viral. People are sharing that. And the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, has shut down the operations of Shell filling station at Adome Bridge at Impoku in the Eastern region for selling water-laced petroleum product to unsuspected customers.
Following a widely circulated video on social media and subsequent complaint made to the authority on 29th August 2022 about a suspected contaminated fuel purchased at the aforementioned retail outlet, a team from the Eastern Regional Office of NPA was immediately dispatched to ascertain the veracity of the report. The team immediately undertook a water content presence test and a dip into the well of the outlet indicated the presence of water. Management of Vivo Energy, in a letter addressed to the authority, posited there was water ingress into the underground super tank after a heavy downpour in the area, which was corroborated by the investigative team sent by the authority. However, a sample has been sent to the head office laboratory for further investigations, with other segments going for forensic audits at the Ghana Standard Authority. The station will only be allowed to resume operations after all remedial action have been taken and confirmed by the NPA. Meanwhile, management of Shell have explained that a heavy downpour in the Atimpoku area caused water to seep into one of its tanks, leading to the situation. The company said it has commenced investigations as it engaged customers impacted by the situation.
Now let's take you back and show you how consumers who bought fuel from that very station reacted to the issue. First was a tweet from Member of Parliament of South Dai, Roxanne Dofeamekpo, which suggested that the Shell filling station located on the Accra-Timpoku Highway is serving commuters adulterated fuel. In a video, the MP shared a consumer lamenting the havoc this fuel has caused his vehicle.
So we stopped at Timpoku on our way from home to fill our tank at the Shell inside at Timpoku. Just a few meters after that, the car started jerking. Yeah, so this is at Timpoku over there. You can see the signage there. right? Then yeah, it wasn't starting. It kept trying to start, couldn't start. So we called the mechanic. He tried pumping out some of the fuel, and this is what we have. But apparently, it's just water they gave us. So we filled our tank with water. So the fuel that was in the tank is what's floating at the top. The rest of it is just water. So yeah, now we are fucked. We are at the shell now. This is it. The one closest to the Adome Bridge. That's the managing green. Whilst we're here complaining, this lady comes in as well, and her car has also stopped. This man just fueled, and we're just here. This is it. Yep. Imagine, filled our tank, only to end up stuck over nothing. Right from the tank.
And Shell issued a statement, part of which was included in the first story we aired, and it's a statement dated 29th August and talks about Adome Bridge at Impoku Shell filling station, and says that on the 28th, 2022, after a heavy downpour in the Atimpoku area, it was discovered that water had seeped into one of the underground storage tanks at Adome Bridge Shell filling station. As soon as the team discovered water contamination, sales at the station were stopped. Assistance is being provided to impacted customers. Internal investigation is ongoing, and all necessary remedial steps will be taken before the station reopens. We remain committed to providing best quality fuels to our customers. Kindly reach out to Shirley, our communications manager. Email and everything is provided. So if you're one of the victims, it'd be good to have that statement and the email. Who knows, they could compensate you for the damage it caused your car. Right, so let's talk about coal. And government has paid an amount of 485 million Ghana cedis as cost of living allowance to public sector workers. And this was contained in a statement issued by the Controller and Accountant General's Department dated August 29, 2022. And these are the details, and it says that the release says that in pursuant to the approval given by the Ministry of Finance on 1st of August, so approval was given 1st of August, following the agreement signed between government and organized labor on July 14, 2022, the Controller and Accountant General's Department has paid the cost of living allowance to workers in the public service institutions. To the column, which represents 15% of the 2022 basic salary, was paid for the months of July and August. The total amount paid is, like I mentioned, 485 million Ghana cedis, signed by Kwesi Kwarteng, Bosumpem Controller and Accountant General. Remember, they had asked for 20%, they got 15%, and they paid for July and August 2022. And to another story with the lion roaring behind me, says the Corporate Affairs and Media Relations Manager of the Forestry Commission, Joyce Kwafu, says the death of the middle-aged man who was killed by a lion at the Achimota Forest could have been prevented if they had enough security officers at the zoo. She said efforts are underway to beef up security at the zoo.
Our first port of call was the zoo, which had been locked up to allow for investigations to be carried out. We then visited the Corporate Affairs and Media Relations Manager of the Forestry Commission, Joyce Kwafu, who explained the unknown middle-aged man was an intruder at the zoo.
With lions, even when you have dogs in your home, they can attack you, the owner yourself. So imagine a lion in its own cage. You know, these lions, they know the staff who come there to feed them. They know them very well. They are very, very intelligent animals. So if they see an intruder, and they know where the people come from, so if they see anything to the contrary, they will definitely react. That was how come the lion attacked this intruder.
She added, although security is not porous at the zoo, the man's entry into the lion's cage could have been prevented if there were more officers at the zoo.
The security is not porous. It is not porous considering the number that we have. Forestry Commission is a government organization, and we don't have the power to employ. So we are just making use of the little staff that we have to do all this work. Look at how big the Achimota Forest is. only the Achimota Forest. And the zoo alone is about 19 hectares. We are there 24/7 patrolling. But because we can't be at one place all the time 24/7, that was why this incident happened behind us.
We also spoke to some believers who had come to pray within the forest. For them, the incident will not deter them from coming to pray in the forest.
I heard it this morning at the entrance when we were entering. They saw my kids and were wondering whether we are coming to the zoo. And I said, no, we are coming to pray. Oh, we are not scared about it because here's forest, but we move around, and the security over here also, they also come around to see how far we go. They check us. We don't go beyond some boundaries. And we've ever been safe. There's no problem here. We are not scared.
We heard it from the security that there is an issue ongoing. That is what you are asking me now. But actually, where prayer is, I think things like that sometimes are bound to happen. But wherever there is prayer, there is an answer inside. We are not afraid to pray here, not at all. And we don't intend the government to stop everybody here coming here to pray, because this place is a prayer ground. So if the government come in and then stop people from coming here to pray, then it means the economy, everything will go down.
Some residents around the forest called for stringent measures to keep the place safe and encourage patronage.
Now the zoo is under renovation. We are giving it a facelift. And all these things will come into play when the renovations are done. I don't have to say some of these things on air because, you know, with security, you don't have to give out too much information. But for now, there are no CCTV cameras. After the renovation, all these things will be put in place.
The Forestry Commission assured efforts are underway to beef up security at the facility.
I saw it, I think a small clip of it, like around people around the area talking about it. But I don't believe it from the release, Forestry Commission release that the guy.
And meanwhile, the executive director of the Wildlife Society, Reverend David Pele, has hinted that a victim who was attacked by the lion breached security. According to him, the zoo observes a strict security with well-fed animals. Hence, the lions are peaceful and were not interested in devouring human beings.
This issue brings to the fore the security of the zoo and then the nature of the animals that we have there. We have lions that are caged and put in a fenced area where it is such that people do not get contact with the lion. They are secure and kept at a distance that you can view them and view them from a point of security. The incident that we just heard of, which happened yesterday, is an exceptional one where we can say an intruder attempted to get into the lion fence or cage where they are. His motives, we don't know, but we know that the lion has cubs, young ones, as you can see there. And so it is possible that he was probably trying to get in there and steal one of the cubs. We know that the zoo is a security area, and we have staff or guards who patrol the area. That's why one of the staff was able to notice that there's a breach of the fence, and he quickly reported. And the investigation was somebody has jumped over the fence into. Obviously, the lion will not stand by and let you invade its territory. The lion is there with the cub and the lioness, and therefore they will do everything possible to defend the territory. So this fellow has gone out of the ordinary to try to enter into the lion cage, and therefore the lions will not just sit down. And then other than that, the lions are peaceful. They do not have interest in eating human beings. They are well fed with meat, and once they are fed, they have nothing to do with human beings, just to stand and then look at you and you look at them, right, and they are satisfied. But when you get too close to a distance where they feel threatened, obviously they will want to react and keep you away. Right. And that is why this fellow probably was killed.
An executive director of the Bureau of Public Safety, Nana Yao Akwada, is demanding safety and security measures at the Accra Zoo be reviewed with immediate effects. Nana Yao Akwada has also raised some concerns with official statements issued by the Forestry Commission asking outcome of the investigation to be made public.
The initial statement of the Forestry Commission and the management of the zoo raises a lot of disturbing questions and some skepticisms. One, the statement did not mention the police anywhere, okay? And then two, it specifically tells us that this man, an intruder as they refer to him, was attacked by one of the lions. Now, was that an eyewitness account or a revelation as a result of their investigations? 3, how many safety arrangements or security layers were breached by this alleged intruder before eventually ending, in the cage where the lions are kept? 4, how is that even possible that there were no triggers to alert security, when the perimeters were breached? So in the interim, as a Bureau of Public Safety, we think that the safety and security measures at this facility must be reviewed pending the outcome of police investigations. And then 3, we would want the police to actually investigate this alleged attack and, in line with modern practices across the whole world, publish the report. This involves the life of a citizen of the land. I don't care whether he's a lunatic or an intruder, whichever way you want to refer to him. I think that as a country, we must come to that point where we value lives. We must come to that point where we want to achieve a certain level of excellence around such facilities where you want to deem it as dangerous facilities. And so the police investigation is something that we really need to get it. And in due course, we as a bureau will also request a physical inspection of this facility. It is absolutely important that the investigation report of the police is made public to assure the anxious public that we are not going to wake up the next morning and be told that lions have broken loose and they are on the streets of Accra. It is absolutely important that the report is made public so we know what went wrong and what can be improved, and we can hold duty bearers accountable to this to improve, circumstances at this facility.
The NDC says it feels misled by Dr. Kwabena Dufour's Ahoto project. General Secretary Asiedu Nketia says recent donations in some parts of Kumasi in the Ashanti region by Dr. Kwabena Dufour under his Ahoto project have not been communicated to the party. According to him, Dr. Kwabena Dufour should have gone through the appropriate channel in the process. Listen to him first before we speak to Dr. Dufour's team.
In fact, he's not the first person to donate to this party. In previous years, Professor Mills donated vehicles to the party, and they were processed through the party structures. President Mahama has donated vehicles and other equipment to the party. Once you hand over to the party takes over. So their design was, after handing over, then they will put together a project management to handle it. We disagreed strongly that our party's face cannot be used for any such thing. So we thought we had agreed. We went to do the launching and thought that after the launching, the next stage was for us to bring together our regional party executives so that we will then hand over to the regional party, and the regional party will also deal with the constituencies so that the project will be implemented in the mainstream party. The information we are picking now is that we have been written to that there's going to be an NGO which is going to manage the Ahunto project. And we strongly object to that thing. And we feel that we have been misled into launching, receiving the donation and thought that and assured our party that it is the party that is going to handle it. If Dr. Dufour intends to make this donation to the party a genuine donation, he should be prepared to pass through the proper channels. He has his equipment. Whatever he's doing with his equipment, it cannot happen in the name of NDC. So that is it. And otherwise, it will create a problem for us. That is not how we have received previous donations.
And that was the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Esiedun Ketia. Abbas Osabute is the project manager for the Ahunto project, and he joins us via Zoom. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Abbas, if you could unmute your camera, we would appreciate it. Right, we'll try and get his sound sorted and just get a quick reaction to what Mr. Esiedun Ketia said. Good evening.
Good evening, Bridget.
Right, so just a quick response to how are you circumventing the processes within the NDC to go directly to the public? Why are you doing that?
First of all, I was thinking that the General Secretary of the NDC would have done all of us a lot of good by stating specifically the procedures that we have invented in the distribution of the grassroots projects, Ahunto projects.
Right, we'll try and get
material moment.
Okay, go ahead.
At all material moments, we are in constant contact with the party. Unfortunately, their Ahunto initiative is an NGO, as we have stated in our press releases. What really happened was that just after the Ashaman lunch, we invited to the party headquarters, and Dr. Dufour obliged as a party member, and the implementation processes, as suggested by the party, was that we should hand over the entire project to the party for the party to implement. This is not the usual donation from individuals in the party. This has to do with a specific project targeted at the grassroots of the party.
But you're still doing it for the party. And like he mentioned, this will not be the first time somebody is donating to the party. Dr. Kwabena Dufour is not the first person within the NDC to do so. So what's different? What's special about this project that it has to be done by him without having to involve the party?
I'm sure if you were at the launch of the Ahunto project at the party headquarters, the General Secretary himself mentioned that this is the first of its kind. Go back, listen to the tape, watch the event carefully. So it is a novel project. It is not the usual donations. Dr. Kwabena Dufour has been donating to this party for a very long time, since 1994. But this is a special purpose vehicle targeted at the grassroots of the party. And he wants to monitor how this benefits the party at the grassroots level.
So you don't trust the party will do, so you don't trust that the party will do a good job. You don't think that the party will be transparent with it. That's why he's going directly to them. Despite the fact that there is resistance from the party.
That's not the issue in contention here.
What's the issue in contention?
That the party will be able to implement or not. But it has to do with collaborating with the party. And of course, we obliged. But the proposal coming therein indicates that no, the initiator of the project should not be involved. I mean, how difficult is it for anybody to understand that I am initiating a project and I have to be involved in the implementation of the project? Okay. How difficult is this? So for us at the Ahunto Secretariat, which of course is an NGO, it is targeted at the grassroots of the NDC. And we know that the grassroots are yearning for this opportunity. We are in the Ashanti region currently as I speak to you. And you need to see the enthusiasm of the grassroots anytime they meet us to receive these items. And I think that the General Secretary and the National Executive Committee should come on board for us to do this so that it will benefit the interest of the party.
This is a channel you want to use to test Dr. Kwabena Dufour's popularity. That's why you want to go directly to them, not really about helping. You just want to see how people respond to it, really.
I am the project manager for the Ahonto project. I am not, whether it is a campaign manager, campaign coordinator, that is not what we are talking about.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for talking to us. Sabute is a project coordinator for Ahonto project initiated by Dr. Kwabena Dufour. Now, the Northern Regional Council of Elders of the NDC has called on the Ghana Police Service to deal appropriately with anyone found culpable in the attack of the Northern Regional Office of the party. At a press conference in Tamale, the council also affirmed Adolf Ali as the acting chair for the party.
Some irate youth groups in Tamale who were dissatisfied with the appointment of Adolf Ali, one of Northern Regional Vice Chairperson of the NDC, as acting chairman after the demise of Alhaji Ibrahim Mubila on the 23rd of August, vandalized the Northern Regional Office of the party. The youth claimed the appointment did not follow the right procedures. They also claimed that Alhaji Rufai Velem, another regional vice chairman, was more qualified and appropriate for the acting chairman position than Adolf Ali. However, the Northern Regional Council elders of the party in a press conference organized in Tamale endorsed their appointment, saying it was in accordance with Article 51 of the party's constitution.
Our findings have revealed that what happened in selecting Honorable Ali Adolf is deep-seated in our constitution, and it is in Article 51 of our party constitution. That is the provision that empowered the regional functional executive committee to take this decision.
Council of Elders also called on the Ghana Police Service to deal with anyone found culpable in the attack on the party's regional office, adding that any party member dissatisfied with any decision should use the complaints and appeals provisions in their constitution rather than resorting to violence.
The Council of Elders states and re-emphasizes that anybody found culpable in this heinous attack should not be shielded, and the lawful processes to deal with said persons or group of persons should proceed.
Meanwhile, a former Northern Regional Organizer of the party, Godfred Apasinaba Wumbe, has provided benches for the office after all the chairs were destroyed during the attack.
If there's any visitor that comes to the office, they don't have a place to sit, they will stand. And then I took it as a special initiative to do these benches to officially, voluntarily hand it over to the party to continue its work. And I called the regional secretary to inform me that says he's on his way to the station. So the administrator should stand on his behalf.
And former President John Dramani Mahama has taken on the General Legal Counsel by saying that tying the hands of would-be lawyers behind them is not a good omen for the future of legal practice in Ghana. John Mahama accused the council of excessive government control. The reason it appears to be intimidating trainees in becoming problem-solving practitioners.
Speaking at the gathering of lawyers of the National Democratic Congress on Sunday, General Secretary Johnson Asiedu Nketia expressed concern about the ill treatment given to lawyers who are perceived to be members of the party. According to him, certain state institutions deliberately blacklist NDC lawyers, while some judges also prejudge cases involving NDC attorneys.
We are aware of the intimidation you suffer in your profession, the leaders of your profession and the judiciary. I'm told that if you appear before certain judges, they prejudge your case because you are not with a certain group. And so all this, if your lawyer and judges become biased against you, it represents a huge cost
to your reputation and many other ways.
Former President John Dramani Mahama accused the Ghana Legal Council of being under excessive government control.
It is therefore worrying that there remains deep-seated perceptions that institutions like the General Legal Council exist to intimidate lawyers who are critics of this government and deprive qualified students from studying for professional law certificates. How do you raise confident, independent, and creative lawyers with a focus on problem solving when during their training you tie their hands behind their back and suggest that they learn to accept oppressive rules without contest? In addition to this is the inexplicable ambivalence of the government and the government-controlled General Legal Council to meaningfully expand access to legal education. NDC stands by its promise ahead of the 2020 elections that it will do all that is possible to expand access to professional legal education and ensure that all who are qualified and aspire to become members of the bar are able to do so.
The two-day event is on the theme, the NDC at 30, the past, the present, the future, the role of the NDC.
And still to come, Ghana University Students Association asked KNUST to rescind decision to abolish JCR management rules. Please stay with us, including Europa is back on air. We'll be right back with more. And Kumasi-based Europa FM is back on air after a meeting between officials of radio station and Menshia. Acting chair of the Kumasi Traditional Council, Bafo Owusu Amankwatia, accepted the plea of the station following comments termed unsavory by the founder of UPP, Odike, on Kumasi chiefs, and asked management to resume operations.
The UPP founder and leader, Akwesi Adai Odike, last Thursday incurred the wrath of the Kumasi Traditional Council. This followed comments deemed unsavory during a discussion on the role of chiefs in illegal mining. Members of the Kumasi Traditional Council saw Odike's comments as an attack on their integrity and asked the station to shut down. Though Odike is yet to appear before the Traditional Council, management of Europa FM apologized for allowing their airwaves to be used by Odike. The acting president of the Kumasi Traditional Council, Bafo Amankwatia VI, who doubles as the chief of Bantama, advised the station's management to be circumspect in their operations. Management of Europa FM were led by the Chief of Asokori Mampong, Nana Boache and Sadebra, and a past bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana, Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, to plead on their behalf. The immediate past bishop of the Methodist Church, Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, advised the media against excesses.
We came in humility to plead with our Asante Mai to pardon them, to forgive. And thanks be to God, they have accepted our our request. So they've asked them to go back and work. The message that we are sending to all media platforms is that be circumspect in the kinds of things you churn out.
Albert Kwabnadufo is the president of the Ghana Journalists Association.
We understand their frustration, though, but then we have come here to let the Nananum know that, look, we are the custodian of the Constitution, rule of law. We are the watchdogs of the people's right. We have been given, given the legitimate responsibility to protect the right and interest of journalists in this country. And for that matter, they should leave the case, they should leave the matter to us and the Media Commission, and that we will make sure that we will met out any sanction or any disciplinary action which is supposed, or maybe which is due them, or maybe that which actually made whatever they've done.
Meanwhile, Europa FM has begun transmission.
The district chief executive for Anloga, Seth Jomalahu, says with the right skill, entrepreneurial training and resource support, the youth can play key roles in the development of communities and the nation at large. And he was speaking at the launch of the Ghana office of Alter My Heart Global Foundation at Anloga in the Volta region.
Global Foundation is a non-profit organization with branches in 8 countries and currently in Ghana. And with proven and tried results, the main aim of the foundation is to support the needy and underprivileged with practical skills and resources to see them become useful people in society. Speaking at the launch of the Ghana branch at Anloga, the DC of the area, Seth Yomehu, was very glad to the foundation for the launch of such a great initiative in Ghana and Anloga, and was positive of developmental results.
We have a lot of challenges when it comes to our health sector, when it comes to our educational sector, and the skill training for our youth. Government is doing its best. We also need support from other people. So what they are doing today for us is something that will help alleviate poverty in my districts or in Ghana as a whole. So I am happy that today we are doing this program here. And at the end, a lot of challenges because we have 23 electoral areas in Angola District Assembly. When you go to the hinterland, before you see actually problem people are going through. So if the founder of this foundation is in Angola to launch this program from US, we are happy. We are grateful to them. And we know what we have seen today, the support they have given to people with disability here, and a lot of people shows that there will be a people who will be supportive of our people here.
National Director of the Foundation, James Chamenyi, spoke on the vision of the foundation.
Our main focus for this foundation is to help the poor and the needy in society. That is the bottom line. The main purpose is to help the poor, the vulnerables in the society. By doing what? By making sure that nobody goes to bed on empty stomach. That is the bottom line. We choose Anloga not because Anloga is a poor environment, but because the place is dear to our heart for 2 reasons. One, the courtesy defense issue, which is a headache for the government, which is affecting the economic life of the people around this locality, is what we are trying to come to eradicate or to support. We want to support this through health issues, through vocational training centers, to help the people within this locality.
Founder of the foundation urged all Ghanaians to come on board to push their vision.
In Ghana, people came out massively and we saw a lot of challenge, which are the one that we are trying to find. We find those type of challenge because it gives us to work. It gives us to touch people. So those type of challenge, as we said, is touching, loving, saving life one person at a time. We are not there to promise and not return back. We make action.
And the Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Colonel Kwadwo Damwa, has been directed by the President to hand over his duties to an acting Deputy Commissioner at the authority, Seydou Idrisu Idissa. Colonel Damwa had been serving in his position despite his contract expiring in October 2021. Mr. Idissa will continue to act as the Commissioner of the Customs Division pending a substantive appointment by the President. Colonel Damwa was recently indicted in corruption-related acts involving La Bianca Company Limited, a frozen foods company. Before we bring you business, and the University Students Association of Ghana has kicked against the directive to abolish all junior common room systems following the Conti Katanga clash at KNUST. Leadership of the association wants university authorities to rescind their decision. Right, and that's it for us here. We're taking a break. We'll be back with business.
Welcome back to Newsnight live on Metro TV. My name is Winston Taki, and now to a first business story. The president of the Ghana Bankers Association has allayed fears of customers following a face rating of some 3 Ghanaian banks. In an interview with Metro Business, the president of the association, John Ewa, added that the general economic outlooks have affected the outlook of these banks and their ability to trade on the international market.
Country gets downgraded, the sector that gets the most hit is the financial sector, and the banking sector is the most significant part of the financial services sector. So, of course, yes, once the downgrade happens, the banks have lines with the correspondent banks. Those lines become shaky, and once they become shaky, it means that the bank's ability to trade internationally is also significantly impacted. We've seen some correspondent banks almost exiting the country because by their own internal policies, when a country is downgraded all the way to CCC, by their policy, they have to exit those relationships. What happens is then the banks that had lines, LC lines with these banks, would have significant stress on their ability to transact internationally. So, of course, yes, when ratings go down, banks have offshore borrowings, and once your country sovereign rating is going down, the price of those loans definitely goes up, and you have that situation of, kind of a limited ability to trade internationally. From what we have seen, these are, I think it's GT Bank, you have UBA, you have EcoBank. We know these banks are very strong banks. They are regional banks, and their parents have the liquidity to support them in times of, need. And locally, the banks themselves are very, very stable banks, and we do not have any cause for concern. Of course, these international ratings, they do a whole lot of modeling to arrive at these numbers, sometimes depending on the bank's exposure to the country in terms of maybe the bank's investment in government securities as a proportion to their total assets. They may have they may come to a conclusion that given the bank's, kind of significant relationship or business with the country, and given the downgrade for the country, then if the country defaults in payment for their loans, then potentially it may have a negative impact on the bank, because the bank's ability to recover will then be hampered. But we are not seeing that, So the assurance we give to customers is that the banks that have subjected themselves to international ratings are very strong banks, and their local fundamentals or their financials for this year, even 2021, and also for the management accounts for 2022, are all pointing in the right direction. Therefore, there is no cause for alarm.
By assessment of some markets across the country, it has been projected that cement prices has gone up by 7 Ghana cedis across the country.
Of the year, developments like inflation and demand and supply have affected the price of cement in Ghana. As of March 2022, a bag of Jata cement was sold between 45 and 50 Ghana cedis, but currently a 60-kilogram bag of cement is selling at 39 cedis 50 pesos, and a 63-kilogram also going for 49 cedis and 50 pesos in most parts of the country. Sources say increments can be attributed to the depreciating value of the Ghana cedi, the recent hikes in transport fares, and the Russian-Ukraine war, which has affected the movement of logistics and transportation of some of the raw materials from abroad for local production. The development may impact the prices of houses in the short term and the personal budgets of many individuals who are currently putting up houses in the country. Manufacturers have in recent times pushed for the government to take a second look at the taxes on imports and charges at the port.
Love you all for business here on Newsnight. My name is Winston Taki. Sports is next with Fulton Quarte after this break. Stay watching.
Is 15:19 GMT here in Accra. My name is Phil John Quarte, and it's time for sports. Let's focus on the GACA Top 6 Championship that ended at the Accra Sports Stadium this afternoon. Great Olympics winning the trophy for the very first time. They beat Bechem United by 2-0. Let's pick up the reaction. First, Yao Preko, who is in charge of Great Olympics.
Very important. A cup is a cup. But better still, we are in pre-season, and I saw positives and negatives. We've played them. This is the third time we've played them. We played them friendly in the Ajingano. Draw. We played them here. Draw. And the third game, we show different character. So I can say we are getting there.
I think it was a good game. This G6 have really helped us. We are in a pre-season, and I just started training 1 week with them, and I think things are going on well. The game was very good. Bechem have a solid team, as you can see, but we were able to beat them 2-0 to win the cup. So it's a good game for us, and we are still in pre-season, and we hope we will be ready before the league starts.
And says our strength for the commencement of the league, and it has helped us a lot to identify some loopholes in the team. So we're going to work on it before the commencement of the.
But still at the nations, when let's focus on table tennis because the 2022 Omawa Table Tennis Championship ended at the DG Hatramani Sports Hall.
The DG Hatramani Sports Hall within the Accra Sports Stadium was packed to capacity for the 2022 Ghana Omawa Table Tennis Championship, which was staged by the Greater Accra Table Tennis Association with sponsorship from a number of firms including Stanbic Bank, Accra Open, Titi Brothers, J.A. Biney, Osu Traditional Council, among others. Close to 200 players throughout the country competed in a one-day competition in 3 categories, namely men's, ladies, and under 19. Before the competitive games, the Osu Manche, Tetete, Ninote Uwu did the official serve and had some stroke of backhand and forehand display. When the players took up, it was all spectacular and fun in the presence of the president of the Ghana Table Tennis Federation, Mauko Afajenu, and other dignitaries. After 10 hours of action, Celia Badanso of the Ghana Armed Forces and Felix Lati of the Ghana Immigration Service emerged winners of the respective competition. Celia dominated Eva Adom Amankwa 3-0 in the women's finals to win the trophy. On the other hand, Felix Lati, who had just returned recently from the United States, was not dominant in the men's finals, but managed to account for Nigerians Victor Smith 3-1. In the juniors event, Prince Asari from the Rising Star Table Tennis Club defeated Richard Ofori to win the trophy. All winners of the competition went home with prizes including trophies, medals, cash and products of the various sponsors. The Osu Manche, who was a special guest of honor for the competition, praised the leadership of the Greater Accra Table Tennis Association for the event. He tasked the players to exhibit a high sense of discipline and train further to improve their standard. The various sponsors of the competition, including Stanbic Bank and Titi Brothers, were all pleased with the success of the competition and pledged to further invest into the game of table tennis. Some players spoke to Metro Sports after the competition.
I must say, I trained secretly for this competition. Yes, I train so hard, and I almost train like 5 hours a day for this competition. It means a lot because I've been out of the game for like 2 years now, and winning this competition is like a comeback, a successful comeback. Yeah, so I'm much happy for myself. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of Ghana for releasing me to train and then to compete.
I'm very happy. I think it was my forehand. My forehand worked for me very well. Okay, I trained very hard. I've been going to training very early to train very well.
It's now 53 past 19 hours GMT here in Accra. Up next, entertainment.
Right, and on the topic of charging to perform at an event as a gospel artist, Ghanaian-born US-based gospel musician Minister Benny said she usually does not charge to minister at events, but expect to be well appreciated.
Me charging does not take away what my assignment in the kingdom is. Some people, this is their job. They have left their corporate world or their profession and they're doing this as a ministry, as a job. They cannot survive by not just doing charity. So as a result, I understand why they charge. Personally, I don't charge, but I believe in appreciation.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my thing. I don't charge, but appreciate me. Because again, everything causes money. Have you seen the prices of gas now?
Yeah.
It's really expensive.
Yeah.
So as a result, I believe that you charging does not make you less of a Christian. At church, we give offering because we require, we expected to give the offering in order for food to be in the house of God. So as a result, I believe that it doesn't make you less of a Christian. I think that it is something that we have to do in order to keep this ministry going. I'm not charging because I'm not giving you a dollar amount or a city amount to give me, but I have come with my team. The team have to be paid and all these other expenses,
And actor Johnny Depp made his first return to US TV in 4 years as he briefly appeared at the 2022 MTV Video Music Awards. Depp did not attend the awards in person, but made his appearance as the Moon Man. The actor joked that he's now available for any sort of work, then brought his cameo to a spectacular end. The moment was a huge milestone for Depp as it served as his return to US television following his harrowing Amber Heard trial. Things are looking up for the Pirates of the Caribbean star, who has landed other deals as he makes his return to Hollywood after winning his defamation trial against his ex-wife. All right, so international news is next.
Angola's ruling party has won the legislative elections, giving a second term to the outgoing president, according to official results announced Monday. In the most hotly contested election in the country's history, the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola won with 51.17% of the votes cast, compared with 43.95% for the leading opposition party, the National Union for the Total Independence of Angola, the National Electoral Commission said at a news conference. A group of 700 million imams and preachers in Burkina Faso on Monday denounced religious and ethnic intolerance after calls for the killing of Fulanis in the country, which is plagued by jihadist violence. According to Musa Kuanda, president of the Federation of Islamic Associations of Burkina Faso, are being self-destruct by spreading messages inciting religious and ethnic intolerance. 14 people were killed and 28 wounded on Monday in Madagascar after gendarmes opened fire on angry residents over a murky kidnapping case. The gendarmes fired on the crowd, according to reports. 9 people died on the spot, and out of 33 injured people received in the morning, 5 died in hospital. The small town is under shock as a child has disappeared and the authorities suspect kidnapping. Iraq's powerful Shia leader Muqtada al-Sadr announced he's quitting political life for good and closing his political offices in a move that could further inflame tensions in the country. Gunfire rang out in the Green Zone and security forces launched tear gas canisters on Monday to disperse al-Sadr supporters converging on the area. At least 2 people were killed and 19 wounded.
And that's it for News Night at 8 p.m. Akwesi will be talking about the business of social media, and he has and amazing assembly of social media bloggers who will be talking to him about that. And at 9 p.m., I will be on to talk about the men's gold scam. What next for customers, as Yoko says they are struggling to push through with the fraud charges against number one. My name is Bridget Otu. Good evening.